Russian Criminal Tattoo Archive by Field Design Company, London. The Field Design Group specialises in commercial commissions from the fields of art, fashion and music, as well as releasing their own authorial projects, most notably through their publishing company Field Publishing. In Soviet Russia, prisoners had a secret language: tattoos. Russian criminal tattoos serve not only to display a convict's criminal record, but also to establish and enforce the social hierarchy of the criminal world. The placement and imagery of each tattoo is anything but accidental. The early 1990s saw some of the worst gangland violence Russia had ever seen. As the former Soviet Union was being carved up politically, a string of ruthless power struggles broke out between opposing mafia kingpins. The tattoos and drawings are reflective of the horrors in Russia during the communist era, written on the skins of criminals. They show devastation on many levels, sadness and tragedy. I decided it would be a good idea to try and contact Phil myself. I asked two short questions, which were: what drew you towards the purchase of the Tattoo Archive? Was it anything to do with its link to communism and the time of the Russian period? The reply came from Stephen and was very interesting and helpful. His answer to my question was: we first visited Russia in 1992 while studying at the Royal College of Art just after the collapse of the Soviet Union. This was a very interesting time to visit, and we have had an interest in Russia and the Soviet era in particular ever since. The drawings and photographs are an incredible insight into the time and the prison culture that existed in Russia. The images and photographs of the tattoos are artful, distasteful, sexually explicit and provocative, reflecting the lives of the wearers, the prisoners. Mostly anti-Soviet and frequently obscene, they are a portal into a violent world that ran alongside the worst excesses of the communist era. The cat is one of the oldest symbols of the criminal world. They are a character to the thief's fortune, patience and speed of their actions, their ruthlessness and rage. At the same time, they represent the expectations of their victims. The cat clearly plays a big part within the criminal world, and no doubt because the cat in some places is classed as a god. An animal that holds 9 lives, and an animal that can fend for itself and hunt for what it wants. An animal that's quick, stealth-like, almost invisible at times, and that preys on its victims, just like the criminals would like to think themselves to be capable of. The tattoos show a horrifying eagerness for violence against women, Jews and politicans. They are bitterly cruel. The photographs of the bearers, however, show tired or shy faces, or even angelic ones with eyes looking heavenward. This could potentially show remorse or regret. Another theory could be that they symbolise no remorse, no feeling and no care about the past and or future. They show a coldness. It could be a game to them, or even just be depicted wrongly by the readers and viewers of the images. The exact reason for these tattoos will never be discovered. These tattoos, very much like art, mean different things in the eyes of the beholder. I do not think that the prisoners would ever change from their state of mind. Their reasons for what they have done and will do will never change. They are proud of who they are and express this through their tattoos. This shows their acceptance of the criminal code and their status within the criminal world. Their so-called achievements in life being inked on them and becoming who they are, like a self-fulfilling prophecy. They believe what they believe, and no man could ever change this. Not only men carried the coded tattoos of the criminal world, but so did some women. The text at the top of her fire here reads: "The earth is empty without you." This could potentially be inferred to represent her love for a partner she is no longer with due to being in prison. It could also be paying respect to a loved one lost to the world. A widespread tattoo in the late 1940s and mid-1950s were palm tattoos. Beetles, ants, cockroaches, bumblebees, flies and spiders without cobwebs are the symbols of pickpockets. The list to follow makes me believe that this is what the insects symbolise and stand for. Each are small, each are quiet and move with caution and precision. To be as small as possible in the sense of making a small impact, not making themselves known but getting away with something big. Here the text reads, "They're sleeping." This could highlight the importance of the life and death of criminals. They're sleeping. A common thing to do would be just to accept that this stands for and depicts that the wearer is sleeping, but the way it is spelt as there leads me to believe that it is a blessing and mourning of lost ones, and this is why the tattoos on it are on its eyelids. To conclude, I believe that tattoos are and were used to show and express the feelings of the criminals, to show and express the life commitment they were willing to make to the criminal world and lifestyle. Some were offensive and others had deeper truths to them, but each and every one was there, drawn and applied to make an impact for them to try and change their country. As above, making a life commitment to a cause, an extremist way to be an anti-communist, but a way some chose to be. The archive very much ties in with other work Fuel own and publish. Their work is all very provocative. It's challenging to the mind, it makes you think. It's inspirational and exciting, but can also be disturbing at times. I believe that they wanted to show what other parts of the world have been through, what happens around the world that we may not otherwise know so much about, and to bring what little justice the criminals deserve, or to bring recognition to those that supported the cause. It's an amazing example of history, something that should definitely be recognised and read about. It releases the secret world of many and uncovers a secret language. It brought pain and change to the world and much more to Russia, but the archive and its work are inspiring and informative. It shows how history has changed and how thoughts, feelings and expression were shown by many in this era. May not see it in this way. They may see it as being an archive that should have never been exposed to the world, something that should have been left to rot away, just like they would suggest the criminals should have. It's not about the communism, Russia or the criminals. It's about the artwork, the ink on the skin and the coded meanings behind each individual tattoo. No two are the same, and it's a very interesting way to live and express your feelings, or a way that the wearers could inspire others around them.